everyone. Today we are starting with lesson number 3, atoms and molecules. You all know that atoms are the smallest particle of any substance. Now we will study in this chapter in detail about atoms and molecules. This concept that matter is composed of small particles were initially given by Indian and Greek philosophers. So here you will study how atoms form molecules, and we will also study about different laws also. So first of all, you know that atom consists of neutron, proton and electrons. It revolves in its orbit. It is the basic structure of any matter, and it is derived from a Greek word atomos, atomos, which means indivisible, because earlier it was thought that atoms were the smallest and they could not be divided, but later on researchers prove that they can be divided too. Okay, next topic is whenever reactants react to form products, whenever some chemical combination takes place, they do so according to certain laws, and these laws are known as laws of chemical combination. There are two laws of chemical combination, that is law of conservation of mass and law of constant proportion. So let's study both of them one by one. Law of conservation of mass was given by Antonin Lavoisier in 1774, which states that matter can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. That is why there is no change in the quantity of matter as a result of chemical change. Okay, this law proves that in any chemical reaction, the weight of products is always equal to the weight of reactants. Means mass, whatever it was initially, it will remain the same. There will be no change in the mass. Let's study this in detail. I have given you a picture of coal here. The jar is there and coal is placed there. The amount is 100 grams, and when it is burnt completely, then again you are going to weigh the same thing. The weight of the jar and its contents, they remain the same because mass has been conserved here. There is no loss in the mass of the coal. Whatever was initially, the mass remains the same. So this is the first law of chemical combination, that is law of conservation of mass. Let's see this law by some reaction. If 40 grams of oxygen combines with 5 grams of hydrogen, these both are raw materials or the reactants, then you are getting 45 gram of water, that is the product is 45 gram. There is no wastage in the mass. The mass remains the same. One more example. The mass of the reactants is equal. For example, 48.6 gram of magnesium is combining with 32 gram of oxygen. Then it is giving 80.6 gram of magnesium oxide. Why? Because the mass here total is always equal to the mass of the product. So how the questions come in exam? Let's see one more example here. And these numericals are important because in exam 2 to 3 marks question do come from this segment. Suppose a sample of 1.28 grams of magnesium is burnt in air and 2.12 grams of white ash like residue, magnesium oxide, is produced at the completion. So you have to calculate what is the mass of oxygen that reacts. So you have to do this question like this. First you will write the word equation, then you will write the chemical equation. You can easily write the chemical equation, no need to write for word equation if you are clear with writing of the equations. Then you will write the formula. That formula is mass of magnesium plus mass of oxygen is equal to mass of magnesium oxide, because it is as per the law of conservation of mass. So given quantities are mass of magnesium is given to you, mass of oxygen is unknown, and mass of magnesium oxide is also given. So you will find the mass of oxygen by subtracting mass of magnesium from mass of magnesium oxide. Okay, so try to do some more numericals based on law of conservation of mass. Let's come to the next law, that is law of constant proportion. It was given by Proust in 1799. According to this law, all pure samples of same chemical compound contains the same element combined in the same proportion. This we have studied in compounds also. The compounds have same elements and they have the same proportion also. Okay, so how can you prove or show this? Let's see. You know that formula of water is H2O, means two atoms of hydrogen are combining with one atom of oxygen to form H2O. So if we talk about the molecular weight of hydrogen is 1 and molecular weight of oxygen is 60. Therefore, total molecular weight of water will be, it will be 1 for H and 1 for H, that is 2, plus 16, that is 18 gram per mole. Mole you will study in this chapter only in later parts, but you should know that molecular weight of water is 18. Okay, and if you have to calculate the percent, then also it can be calculated. You will write weight of hydrogen upon weight of water into 100. Same way for oxygen also you can calculate. Okay, and if we talk about proportion, then proportion will be, it will be 2 hydrogen and their molecular weight is 1. So 2 के लिए 2 हो जाएगा. 2:, for oxygen it is 16. It will be 2:16 or 1:8. And it will be 1:8 always for whatever source of water is used. For example, if you are using ice water, river water or sea water, whatever water is being used, the proportion of hydrogen to oxygen will always be 1:8. It is not going to change in any of the case. This law proves law of constant proportion. Let's do one numerical based on this. On electrolysis, 225 gram of water. Electrolysis, you know, when electricity is passed through water, it splits to give 25 gram of hydrogen and 200 gram of oxygen. One more experiment was conducted where 10 gram of hydrogen was burnt with 80 gram of oxygen to produce 90 gram of water. You have to prove the validity of law of constant proportion. This can be done by, you will write in the first case, mass of hydrogen formed is 25 grams, that is given to you. Mass of oxygen is 200 grams. So the ratio or the proportion will be 25:200. It can be simplified as 1:8. Similarly, in the second case where hydrogen was being burnt, the amount of hydrogen getting burnt was 10 gram and amount of oxygen getting burnt was 80 gram. Here again you will form the ratio, it is 10:80, that is 1:8. Thus, these both statements, they are verifying the law of constant proportion, because proportion is coming out to be same. It is 1:8 here also and 1:8 here also. This proves law of constant proportion. So This slide is just the revision of the two laws because these things are new for you. So please go through them. The two laws, law of conservation of mass and law of definite proportion. Through this, do write the notes regarding these two laws. This much for today. Thank you so much.